right there. Critical decision. On your bike, baby.
Over the top and out. What a magnificent catch.
Already helmet. No lead idiot. Sucking the carrots through your teeth.
Heading up for a new season.
Oh, hitting the helmet. Shane is a Mercedes-Benz, but he's had 300 services.
At the Wicket, live Tuesday night at 7:30 on C7 Sport.
Part of the crowd here at the MCG, building up all the time to watch Carlton playing Collingwood on New Year's Eve. It's quarter time here, and the first quarter was all the Blues. 6-6-42 to Collingwood, 3 behinds. Goals coming from Favola, who got 3, Camporelli 2, and Whitnell, who kicked 1. So Mick Malthouse has a bit to do. And as Ange Christou did point out to me during quarter time, of course, Collingwood started their preparation for this game about a month earlier than the Blues.
That's right, I think roughly 3 weeks earlier.
Yeah, a little bit earlier.
So, you know, I'm sure we would have been a little under the, under the hammer prior to the game.
Yeah, you blokes looked a lot sharper in that first quarter, though. I was a bit surprised. I thought with our preparation we might be a little bit sharper, but your blokes look quite good.
Well, there might be a bit of accountability, lack of accountability. So.
Ange Christou in commentary with us, along with Rick Olorenshaw. Wayne Britton coaching the Blues tonight.
That's right.
Is there any move? What's happening there with David Parkin? Is he just standing back and having a look at the overall, or is he grooming Wayne Britton one day for the future?
Well, he possibly could, but I don't. Look, he will be a coach next year, most definitely. This is David Parkin, but I'm pretty sure he'll be grooming him as well. But he'll be taking all the Ansett Cup games as well, Wayne Britton.
And while you were talking then, Ange, John Worsfold was on screen.
Yes.
He'd be a handy recruit on the coaching panel, wouldn't he?
Very handy, the smiling assassin, as we all know.
Now here's Steve Kernahan with Dipper.
Yeah, thanks very much, Drew. A new role this year, Chairman of Selectors, mate.
Oh, it's just a title, Dipper, yeah.
Yeah, well, a very good start by the boys. They experienced Scotty Camporelli played quite well in that first quarter.
Yeah, Scotty was good. He pushed forward and they couldn't find him, and just the way the forward line rotated worked pretty well. Hopping in the pressure they put on was great.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
Thanks, Dip.
One of the all-time greats, Stephen Kernahan. 6-6 to 3 behinds. Carlton well in charge. And the Pies go forward through McKee out of the middle. Ball knocked down to the front. Koutafidis, what a game he played in the preliminary final last year to get over Essendon by a point. Last quarter performance, absolutely magnificent. The umpire's going to come in here. He'll throw the ball up here, the umpire, rather than bounce it. Different law for the Ansett Cup. Speed the game up. Sometimes he might do it so quickly that contesting ruckman mightn't even get to the contest. Kick forward by Freeborn there for the Blues. Whitnell's been a headache. Sure has. Andy McKay sprints away from them. Kicks out wide. Favola, who kicked 3 in the first quarter, but Richardson back there to do the spoiling.
Ian McKay showed a bit of pace there, mate. He outran Reece Shaw, who's renowned for his pace.
Well, all our backmen are fairly good runners, mate, so in training hard.
Most of them.
I think you get a bit quicker when you've got the footy, don't you, Rick? And you're running down the ground.
Oh, definitely.
Helps a little bit. Boundary throw in. Whitnell doing the ruck work up against Michael. Ball spills towards Favola. He's knocked it close to the boundary line. And eventually, in front of Michael Gardner, the ball spills for a throw-in.
There's a number for Favola. Jez's old number.
Well, he's got a bit of a load to carry too, because he was one of the probably, well, in the best 3. John Nichols, Bruce Dool and Jezelenko.
That's right. He's been doing quite well tonight too, so...
Chatfield's kick, good mark taken by Beaumont. Just looked, well, a little taller and maybe a little bit on the physical side, stronger there than Lucuria. So Beaumont will have a free shot at goal as a result of that mark. He's right in front and about 45 metres out.
Very fair, I thought, Ian.
Beaumont going for his first goal in this match. Very good left foot kick. Excellent kick by Beaumont. It's another goal to Carlton.
That's nothing.
Simon Beaumont gives us absolute nightmares every time he plays against Collingwood. I think last game against Collingwood he kicked 8 goals, and I think most of those were in the first half.
It's quite correct, mate. So let's hope he can kick a few more tonight.
I've been very impressed with young Chatfield. He started a little slowly, but by geez, worked his way into the game. He's had 9 possessions.
Yes.
Well, Collingwood have got to do something about this. 7-0 so far. New Year spirit going on in the Great Southern Stand there. Back in the middle. Too much New Year spirit for the Pies as yet. Haven't got a goal on the board. Paul Curia at centre-half back for the Pies. Goes for a bounce. Number 18 used to be worn by Lee Walker. What a tragedy he was in football. Kept redrafting him, but he could never come up. Hand pass dished off out to Williams. One out is Rocco, close to the boundary line. Ball stays in. Franchino works it towards the line, floats the ball along the boundary line, and that may be a free to Camporelli. It is. Got one in the back. He's been absolutely sensational, Scott Camporelli. And what was the story? He apparently wanted to leave in the off-season. He wanted to go back to Adelaide. Just pushing for more money or what?
Why not? it tends to work, actually, towards the end of the season, so it's great to see him back anyway.
So squeeze the buck at him. Speaking of bucks, here's Nathan Buckley. Gets the ball on. Lockyer, centering ball. But, well, Carlton players just absolutely everywhere.
Here he is again. Why would we want to leave him, though?
This boy's had a few touches too. About 11.
Lappin. Up short of centre wing.
You know, there's not much of him, but he can, you know, he can get the ball and he can play the game.
Well, Matthew Lappin, we were talking about, of course, not a strong, physically strong person, but very skillful. There he is on screen with his immediate opponent, Tarkin Lockyer. Ball spills for Mansfield. Just a beautifully little hand pass there to McKay. In turn to Whitnell. He made a contest, which is all that is required. Camporelli on this occasion. Mel Michael works his way to the front, takes it over for a boundary throw-in. All fair and above board, according to umpire Brian Sheehan. And the ball will be thrown in between wing and left half forward, favouring the Blues. What has turned out to be quite a good night after the 3 or 4 days leading up to tonight's football match. It did look rather ominous, to say the least. Camporelli skillfully to Nelson. Nelson towards the front of the goals. Contest being provided down there by Houghton. Gathered by Chatfield. Kick across his body. Hits the post.
I thought it deserved better.
Well, it must have looked pretty good in running from behind Adam Chatfield. But it's rattled into the woodwork, and scores are behind for the Blues.
What's his story, Ange? He's been on the list for, what, about 3 years?
Yes, 3 years, yes. And as I said, he's been playing great reserves football, but it just hasn't had the, you know, just hasn't got it quite yet. But obviously he's showing the signs tonight. Let's hope he can continue with that.
It's a big stage here tonight. He's sure making the most of it. Here comes Lappin. He comes in short. Beautiful delivery. And Favola's got it again. Is it Jezza or Favola?
He looks a big, like in size, a fairly big boy too. Would he be, what, in excess of 182, 183 or something?
Oh,
like
taller than that.
That?
He'd be 6'1", 6'2". And a very good kick for goal too, so I'm putting the pressure on.
Well, kicking for his 4th. And Carlton's 8th. Oh, it's coming back. That's a beautiful kick.
Thank you, son.
You might have just booked a seat in the commentary box there, Ange.
Tell you what, this is a bit of a pacing at the moment, isn't it?
Well, you wonder where Collingwood are going to find their opportunities to score goals.
Yeah, I just think a few skill areas in the midfield coming out of the back line has really cost us so far. So if we get those things right, I'm sure we'll push the ball forward and get into our 50.
23 times to 10 so far in the forward 50, favouring the Blues. Plenty of opportunities for the Blues to score. They've had 15 scoring shots to 3. Buckley for Collingwood kicks it forward. Uncharacteristic kick forward there by Buckley. Underneath that was Vance, gathered by McKee. Hand pass. Maybe it was meant there for Shaw. He's dumped. McKay. Chatfield, well done. Kept hold of the football, then gave it back to the acting skipper. And Andrew McKay, in his attempt to try and get the ball onto Vance, has forced a boundary throw-in. Left half forward, about 50 metres from the Magpie goal. Stephen Patterson having a spell on the interchange bench.
Nick Davis replaced him.
Go Dip, sorry.
And Nick Davis replaced Patterson.
Thank you. And Nick Davis immediately into the play, and his kick has been marked by Mark Orchard. So here's the chance for Collingwood to open their account goal-wise. Mark Orchard from about 20 metres.
Now, what's his kicking style like, mate?
He hasn't kicked a lot of goals in his career, but we've done a fair bit of goal kicking practice over the last 2 months. We have to get out there and kick a certain amount each week, and surely he'll kick this.
Orchard goes for goal. Goal umpire doesn't move. Collingwood open their account. First goal to the Magpies, kicked by Mark Orchard. Early in the second term. It's been a long time coming, but just might be good signs for the Magpies. Nick Davis kicking it forward, and Scott Camporelli appealing to the umpire that may have been touched off the boot, but Mark Orchard on screen, the goal kicker for Collingwood.
Part of the interchange bench for the Pies. Well, they've finally got their first goal. As the MCG scoreboard clock showed the 8-minute mark of the second quarter for their first goal. Going pretty hard here.
Very stiff.
And holding the ball.
A little bit too high.
Camporelli's not
Tough
happy.
old rule. Oh,
You're
dear.
kidding. And right in front of him too.
So Williams takes the free. Rocker in the middle of the pack.
That's interference.
Against Franchina, maybe, was it?
That's right, yes.
So free kick to big Anthony Rocker.
I think we should have a shot here, Drew.
Well, if the Pies can get the next one and maybe add another one, they can make a contest out of this. But gee whiz, at 8-0, it was looking absolutely the worst finish to 99, even worse than the end of round 22.
This is definitely Anthony's distance too, I think, Drew. He loves kicking them from outside 50. He's probably better off kicking them out there than he is in close.
Breeze left to right across him. That's way right. And a behind. Runner-up in the best and fairest last season.
Are you ever fed stats from that point of view, Rick, about how many times goals are kicked from outside 50 compared to trying to maybe kick it in short or look for a short kick?
Yeah, we're given statistics. We know whereabouts most of the goals are scored, but you've got to know your kicking length. So Anthony Rocker can kick goals from 50, other players can't. So Mick Malthouse has given a licence to those guys who can kick the distance to have a shot.
I'm sure you'd rather kick them, though, within the 50.
Yeah, much easier.
In that play, Chatfield getting another kick. He's now up to 12 possessions. Good performance by a bloke still waiting to make his league debut for premiership points.
It'll do him the world of good, actually. Great confidence booster.
Hurried kick by Lockyer. Bit of a fumble by Hamill. Comes into McKay. Slips O'Bree's tackle. Nelson.
Very scrappy.
Here's Michael Mansfield off the left. The kick towards full forward. Favola works to the front again. Gets a free kick. It's Beaumont. Simon Beaumont.
Gee, Mansfield's going to be a handy player for the Blues, isn't he?
Most definitely. Here we go. Oh, I think he did grab him over the neck.
Free against Paul Lacuria.
Yeah,
over the shoulder.
With Michael Mansfield, most definitely a very, very tough unit, very nuggety and fairly honest too.
Gavin Brown looking worried. And he has missed from point-blank range, well, right in front. Really should have been a goal. And you don't need that.
15 scoring shots to, well, the MCG scoreboard says 5. We actually say that it is 6 scoring shots to Collingwood. The free kick has been picked out here to Beaumont, so he's second within 30 seconds.
Kick.
Good kick it was, wasn't it?
And screened well by Hickmott.
Well, okay, explain that. What's screened well? What, just protecting the player, coming down to take the mark?
Making it as if he was going to mark, but just stayed in front of...
In the background? Yep.
Just there, just screening. Very legitimate.
The opportunity now for Favola. Well, he would think that Christmas came last Saturday and it's come again on New Year's Eve, Brendan Favola. He's going for his 5th goal in the first half of this match. And it's a beautiful kick. It's a goal. So 5 goals to Brendan Favola, and the Blues supporters are doing all the cheering at the MCG here on New Year's Eve 1999. Carlton lead 9-8 to 1-5.
And after he did kick that, it was just great to see just almost every Carlton player, you know, give him a pat on the back.
In that situation, you do need a third man to come up. If the full-back's out of position, you need a Collingwood player to come through and try and interrupt the full forward.
Well, huge lead here for the Blues. And they go forward again. Camporelli has cut them to pieces. To the goal square. Favola might have been held back. Oh, it got through for a behind before the charge of the Light Brigade could reach the ball.
Looks like Gavin Krasiska's got the job on Favola now too, so hopefully Gavin's got to know how to try and keep Favola down to no goals.
Clark kicks to himself and then goes to the Great Southern Stand side of the MCG, but a straightforward mark is taken by Hamill. He looks very confident. Opening his year 2000. Kick forward by Hickmott to the goal square. Camporelli. Krasiska prepared to concede a behind to the Blues. How'd you like to be playing across that full back line or half back line, Rick? It's coming down, isn't it? Pretty quick.
It's coming down that quick. It just doesn't give you much opportunity to spoil your forward. You'd really like to have other blokes around you to help out.
Simon Fletcher preparing to come on for the Blues. And in the meantime, Michael Clark goes for a bit of a run. Kicks not that far short of centre of the ground. And a hand pass in from Houghton. All Carlton again until Gavin Krasiska stands tall to take the defensive mark.
2 will always beat 1, Drew.
Johnson. Mark taken by Houghton, and Carlton players just going past beautifully. It's as though last season hadn't finished, and this is just an extension of their run towards the grand final.
Contest.
Yeah, it was a great play by Michael Clark then. He was the man who had to come in and spoil, otherwise Favola would have taken another mark.
That's right.
You see Michael Clark come in there, great courage, kept his head up. That's fantastic play for the young kid.
And the son of the West Australian cricket coach, Wayne Clark.
Wayne Clark played 10 matches, I think 10 test matches for Australia back in the 70s.
Yep. In the days of World Series cricket. Here's Camporelli again. Scott Camporelli gets his 3rd.
I think he has been promoted on that list of great kicks in the AFL.
Most definitely. Inside 50 and outside 50, as we've seen tonight.
Tell you did well there, Hickmott, just at ground level to keep that little contest alive. The ball did eventually spill out to Camporelli, and he capitalised by kicking the goal, but it's just the unsung hero at ground level on some occasions that maybe don't get credit, but Hickmott was pretty good in that little scrimmage. 10-8 plays 1-4. Blues go forward again. Camporelli on this occasion dispossessed. Licuria, Camporelli, Williams tackled there by Heath Culpet. Ball kicked out wide. Oh, gee, they worked in numbers beautifully. Beaumont got the goal, but I think Hamill was instrumental as well there. Second goal to Simon Beaumont. You'd need a slow-mo replay, but I'm sure Hamill was in there forcing the ball again to the advantage of Carlton, and on the end of it was Beaumont.
It was just a great numbers that Carlton had there. You can see in the picture there, Carlton 3 on the 1, forced the ball forward, and that's what happens when you've got numbers at the ball. Fell into Beaumont's hands and just kicked the goal.
So back in the middle, centre circle, just away from cricket pitch area from yesterday. Not a great bounce by the central umpire. Well, fortunately, in this game, they only bounce it to start quarters.
Mark Orchard off the ground, and Patheris has picked up Scotty Campbell and Camporelli, and they're at each other, which is good to see.
Quick hands in the middle, and Licuria's kick. Ball palmed down to the front. Franchina knocks the ball back. That's clever. Stephen O'Reilly for the boundary line.
Well, he couldn't pick it up in handball, could he?
Well, it's going to be a tough one when it's close to goal and close to the boundary line. You've got to knock it out. Do you knock it for the line, for the boundary line, deliberately out?
Exactly.
Do you knock it infield, or do you knock it attempting a behind and it goes out? There's all sorts of possibilities crop up. Goes Collingwood's way. O'Brien got a few touches early. Haven't seen too much of him in the last 20 minutes or so. Ben Nelson for Carlton. His kick over centre half back.
Very good kick. Oh,
The ball landed on his point. Was unlucky. Richardson for Collingwood. Attempted juggle mark. Franchina. He's got numbers in support. Mansfield to O'Reilly. Well, they did that a few times.
Split the gap.
Ball close to the boundary line. Look at the tackling by the Blues, putting Collingwood under pressure all the time. Lane a kick, but the mark for Mansfield.
I don't think you'd be overawed, Michael Mansfield. 181 games we showed on the screen in the preview. Chatfield just looks as though he belongs, which is a great sign. Hamill on the wing, kicks it towards full forward. Favola pushed out, was he, by Prasiska?
No, it's downfield.
Was it?
Yes.
So the free kick, not against Prasiska, but paid to his immediate opponent against...
Pushing it back.
Shaw. Favola's shot at goal might bounce through. It does. Does he kick 6?
Oh, goodness.
6 goals. Brendan Favola has been the man of the moment so far in this match. 6 of Carlton's 12 goals. We've got 5.5 minutes left in the first half.
I was nearly going to ask you whether he could kick like Anthony Rocker. He's a long way outside 50, but nobody in the goal square could get a finger to it.
Well, I wouldn't have picked that one, actually. It was a 60-metre kick.
That's a monster, isn't it?
Kick, though.
Well, it was only a couple of days ago that the MCG produced a new hero in Brett Lee. Well, nearly being bracketed with him tonight is Brendan Favola. 6 goals before half-time. Oh, Chatfield moving well, but sandwich this time. You're gone. Buckley wants to take the kick. Could have gone to either of the Collingwood players. Bucks took it, delivered it well to Lane.
No harm in trying, though. He did try to take them on. I think Campo's coming up for a rest.
Camporelli coming off the ground after 12 kicks, 2 handballs. He's kicked 3 himself and set up about 3 more. Buckley, disposal perfect. And the way he kicked the round ball in the Irish series was something to see. Now he's got it back, and he marks the turf. And look at him tee off on this one.
Ricky, is he going to kick this one?
Oh, mate, he'll clear the fence by a mile, I think. If you're looking at about 10 rows back, he can kick a footy.
But will he kick it, though?
He'll kick the goal.
Okay.
He's a captain. He'll set us on a roll here.
By example?
Set by example, yeah.
Nathan Buckley right in front. Collingwood have managed just 1 goal. 49 metres out. There's their second. Never in doubt. Gee, he can kick the ball and straight.
Oh, he's amazing. Even at training, just to watch him kick both sides of the body, he's fantastic.
That was textbook kicking. Sensational goal.
So Nathan Buckley gets the 2nd goal for the Magpies. Played a lot of football now at AFL level. He won a Magarey medal in South Australia before starting his career with the Brisbane side. Fletcher, dispossessed, gets another chance. Hand pass, just a little touch on the ball was important. Johnson to Williams. Good effort by, I think it was Mansfield, got his hands to Paul Williams' jumper, forcing him to kick, and kick rather ordinarily by Paul Williams' standards. And speaking about it being a game of centimetres, it was important that Michael Mansfield just watch the outstretched, and he feels as though he's going to be tackled, and eventually kicks the ball. 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 by Paul Williams' standard. Chatfield, another possession, a high kick in the direction of Whitnall, but 3-on-1 there. Big punch by the Magpies defence, finds the safety of the boundary line. And maybe some Canadians by the look of that flag. They go for the Pies. Canada loves the Pies. Well, there you go.
Got them everywhere, Rick.
Yeah, we have, haven't we? They're mad too, aren't they? I love it.
Number 28 is Prendergast for the Blues, a youngster. Buckley's little left foot kick. McKay there to just play the role of the general of the half-back line, full-back line. Terrific player, Andrew McKay. The leading player, I think, in the competition at breaking tackles. And very effective from that point of view. Between wing and left half forward, favouring Collingwood. Kicked out of there by Bathiris. Good effort there for Carlton by Culpet. Just coming in and getting a fist to it. The umpire's found a free kick. It's going to Collingwood. What's that for? Is that new rule, not moving the ball on?
I think maybe someone picked the ball up off the ground while they were on the ground, which you can't do. You have to tap the ball clear. And I believe a Carlton player did pick the ball up while he was on the ground.
And then a 50-metre penalty.
What was the free kick for, though?
I think it was Hickmott. Hickmott was on the ground and tried to pick the ball up, which you can't do. You have to tap the ball clear. Once you take possession of the ball, it's a free kick against you.
That's right. And it's a 50 as well, is it?
Well, I didn't see that.
No,
I was trying to work out.
A bit of chat.
I think there was an infringement, yes, after that decision had been made. And Lane now going for Collingwood's third goal from only 15 metres out, pretty well straight in front. Tyson Lane kicks his first goal and gets Collingwood's third.
Well, Rick, if you're going to do something like that, I suppose it's handy if you're 11 goals up.
Well, that's right. You might as well learn why you're that far in front. But Tyson Lane loves kicking a goal. He would love to get that 50 metres, and he likes to celebrate his goals as well.
Initial free. Probably holding the man. No. Could have been back chat.
None the wiser myself.
Go to the third umpire.
Big lead to the Blues, despite Collingwood getting a couple in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Bathiris goes shoulder to shoulder with Diulio. Whistle!
Gee, that was the ever so slightest tug of the jumper.
The boys at Carlton all waiting for Ronnie to kick his first goal. I was at Optus Oval one day last season where he had a couple of great chances and he muffed them. Here's a big chance for Vola. He might have 7 before half-time.
Gee, Whittle good there in that passage of play.
Sensational, actually. And great vision, too, to spot this young chap. So he made a contest. And it was Kutafiti, sorry.
A great delivery by Kuta. And Brendan Favola has kicked 6 goals, 1. Great action. 7 goals prior to half-time.
Yeah, let's hope he kicks a few more after half-time too.
Well, you don't want to do a Beaumont and get them all out of the way to half-time and then turn it up.
Well, I think last year we used Presti Giacomo to go back on the Beaumont. We haven't got that option tonight because Presti's still out injured.
Who knows? They could even give him a rest at half-time.
Bring him off like Camporelli, you reckon?
No, let's hope not, mate. Go for 14.
Both of you players started your careers quite a few years ago now, but certainly it's got to be terrific for the confidence of a young bloke like Brendan Favola right now.
Oh, yeah, he'd be absolutely wrapped. Even though it's an Ansett Cup game, it's not as important as a normal game, but to get 7 goals in the first half, and he'd be wrapped as a young bloke.
Prendergast, another one of the younger players for the Blues. It's kick forward, good mark taken by Kuta. He goes across the half-forward line. The kick not as well directed as he would have liked. Swooping on it was Diulio. Off to Chatfield. He kicks into the pocket for Favola. Shows a bit of pace too for a big boy. Ball spills there for Culpet. And Tarkin Lockyer there for the Magpies. But awkward bounce is over for a throw-in.
Yeah, well, actually, it is great to see, as you said, with Brendan Favola. I mean, he's not the only one. You know, there's Chatfield and there's Houghton and even the other inclusions, O'Reilly and Mansfield. So we're all doing very well.
Hickmott working very hard up there on the forward line. G. Favola, he's going for everything, isn't he? He's like Adam Gilchrist. If you bowl it up half volley outside the off stump, see you later. It's hit the pickets.
Well, if he's half as good, he'll do, mate. Boundary throw in. Whitnell doing the work in ruck. Now, you're on the ground. He's holding the ball, rules the umpire, even though I thought he did knock the ball out. And that was advantage to Collingwood. Play on. Here's Anthony Rocker well down the ground behind centre wing. Slung to the ground. Play on, says the umpire. Gee whiz. This is pre-season Ansett Cup. Look at them go for it. Whitnell, Michael. Michael's had a lot of trouble with him tonight. Oh, big chance here. Culprit. Oh! Holding it.
Great tackle. Sensational tackle.
So Mal Michael finally gets on top. Not of Whitnell this time, but he laid a good tackle. Out to Tyson Lane. Back to Michael. They've worked across to the broadcast side of the ground. Lane again from halfback.
Well directed.
Well, Mansfield just leaving his man Williams and moving forward to approach the ball. Number 10 playing on number 10. And Mansfield in his first game in the Carlton colours doing particularly well.
Hey, Geelong going well enough that they could let Michael Mansfield go?
I just don't. I can't fathom that at all.
Oh, kick round the corner. Came in short. Krasiska, geez, had some trouble back there on the back line. It's been up there all night.
Lucky bounce.
Here's a chance. Round the corner, Culprit. Just offline. Behind a Heath Culprit.
I know there's a million stories in the naked city about players moving from one club to another, but gee, when you've got a class player who's done all the hard yards, 181 games, represented the state, you wonder just what happened between Michael Mansfield and the Cats. Kick in, high flyer was Whitnell, taken away by Buckley, striving hard to lift his side. Gets it away to Paul Williams, and that promising attacking move for the Magpies is cut short by the half-time siren. And at half-time, it is a big lead to the Blues, 13-11-89. Collingwood 3-5-23. Goal kickers for the Magpies, all singles. And for Carlton, Scott Camporelli has kicked 3. But the star of the first half was Brendan Favola for the Blues, who kicked 7. And Simon Beaumont kicked 2.
Let's not forget Adam Chetfield as well. It's been a really remarkable too. But regardless of the scoreboard, I think Collingwood have shown a few glimpses that they will come back.
Well, Chatfield was terrific with his 15 possessions, but Favola, 8 kicks for 7 goals. 7 goals won in the first half. And so Carlton well on top, as they've been in the last dozen contests between these two.